Hello, 22 Tony here, continuing my discussion on collecting vintage and antique 22 ammo boxes. Recently, a friend of mine asked me how I got started collecting 22 ammo boxes. And I think it's a bit of an interesting story. It might be a little bit long-winded, but you might enjoy it. It all has to do with this now empty box of Federal Lightning 22 long rifles, as well as what I like to call the great ammo shortage of 2014. You see, around July or August of 2014, I had promised my wife and her stepfather that I would take them out shooting. So we planned for the following weekend. We were going to set up targets and take the 22s out, both pistol and rifle, and spend an afternoon just burning some lead. So I got the guns ready and went to my gun cabinet and checked to see what I had as far as ammunition. And all I had was a couple of dozen rounds of some old CCI. So not a problem. I figured I'd run up to the local Walmart. I live about a mile from a Walmart. I'd pick up a couple of hundred rounds and we'd be able to spend the afternoon. So I get to my local Walmart, go back to the hunting aisle, and there's no 22 in stock. I checked with the cashier and they said, oh no, we haven't had 22 in weeks. So I thought it was a little bit strange, but I don't keep up on all the latest conspiracy theories, so I didn't know that there was a shortage. So I went to Gander Mountain. Same thing, there wasn't a box in stock. So, Dick's Sporting Goods next. Once again, not a single box. Went to a local gun store. They didn't have a box of 22 for sale either. So, got to thinking, I kind of remembered that I might have had some old Lightnings that I'd stuck in the back. Now these have been around, this box I purchased in the late 70s or early 80s. Those of you that are under the age of 50 won't believe this, but used to be a day when a 16-year-old could walk into a hardware store and pick up a brick of 22 shells and nobody would even question them. Well, these have been around for, at least 40 years. I've been hanging on to these. I dug around in my gun cabinet and back behind a couple of boxes of 30-06, I did find one box of Federal Lightnings left. So that and the couple dozen rounds of CCI still wasn't going to be enough, and I'd already promised, so I was starting to worry what I was going to do about ammunition. So it finally struck me that there is a local shooting range, a mile or so from my house, and I figured they had to have ammunition. Without it, they're out of business. So I went to the range and asked them about 22, and they didn't really want to sell it. They wanted it for their own customers, and I pretty much begged and offered whatever they wanted for it. And they pulled out some basic lead round nose 22 long rifle, nothing special, just basic ammunition. I'm not sure, I think it was Western, but I'm not positive what it was. And I asked them how much they wanted for it. They wanted $10 a box for 50 rounds of 22 lead round nose ammunition. Crazy price. I'd already promised. I bought 2 boxes, and even still we were a little bit short. We had 160, 170 rounds between us. So I made a mental note that I got to keep my eye out for 22. I just don't have any. So over the next few weeks, anytime I was in the neighborhood of Walmart or Gander Mountain, I'd stop in and see what they have, and just nothing. It just didn't exist. Well, I am a part-time antique dealer, so I spend a lot of times at auctions and estate sales and garage sales. I happened to come to an auction that had, I think it was about 5 bricks of old 22. This is, 60s and 70s 22 shells. They had whole bricks, and they weren't advertised. So I was pleasantly surprised when I got there. And I would have left earlier. There wasn't really much I wanted, but I stuck around for the ammo. I figured I needed it, and if I could get it at a good price, my friends and family would use it as well. So I stuck around. Finally, they did get to the bricks, and they pulled them up. And auction, I placed a bid. I ended up getting the bid at $22.50 a brick, and I could have as many as I wanted. Well, I took 5 bricks. Again, I figured it wasn't going to be a problem. At that price, I would be able to, to swap them out with somebody, would trade them for something, or I could sell them. Well, that's when I got looking that the Federal Lightnings had always been my favorite. Those have been my favorite for years. And I noticed that, slight difference in the boxes. And it just got me thinking, how many different types of 22 are there out there, and what do the boxes look like, and, what's available? So I started doing a little bit of research on the internet, and that's really where I got started. So based on the fact that this Federal Lightning, didn't match that Federal Lightning. It just kind of piqued my interest and I started searching. And from there I built a collection of, probably several hundred boxes in my own collection now, and more than that I've traded in and out. So again, I thought that was a little bit of an interesting story. Some of you might like it and might encourage you to do your own collecting, whether it be 22 or there are people that will collect one of every possible different cartridge they can get their hands on. There are people that will buy only the brick boxes. There are people that will specialize in obsolete ammunition or odd rimfires, 41 rimfire, or those types of things. But hopefully this kind of piqued your interest a little bit, and you might think about collecting antique ammo yourself. Well, thanks for watching. Bye.